Welcome to the Lead Pedal Podcast with your host, Bruce Outridge, where he talks all things trucking. Now let's get rolling.
How's everybody doing today? Welcome to another edition of the Lead Pedal Podcast. Today we're going to talk lease programs, good, bad, and ugly. That's right, man. That's what lease programs are known for. Some are known as the Never Never Plan. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about maybe why you should get into one, why you shouldn't get into one, or at least know what you're getting into at the same. Understand what you are. Are you a employee? Are you a Driver Inc. misclassified employee where you're actually not in business at all? Are you on a lease program? Are you a traditional owner-operator where you brought your truck? Know what you are when you go, and know the difference between these different things, because when you're in business, friends, there's not a lot of protection for you. So if you are not sure about the type of company and what they're offering you, and you're just signing things, you could be signing your life away. A lot of these stories that we hear about lease programs are because people did not do their homework. Have a lawyer look over your homework, look over the contract for you. Make sure you check this out. I don't know how many drivers I've heard that just sign things and they have no idea of what they're signing, and then they wonder why they don't have any money. Be prepared to stay with that company for a long time. All right? So if you're on a lease program, make sure you do your homework on it. What are the benefits? Access to business. If you want to get into business, this is one way of doing it if you don't have the startup capital needed, but be very, very careful and make sure you know what you're signing. Another benefit, you might get newer equipment, which is great, but is it really worth that staying at that company for the rest of your career? Because that's what you're going to have to do. And you do have some company support, which is very good and something that owner-operators need, but companies will also have to stay arm length, because if you were an owner-operator, you should be handling your things yourself. So they might help you with maintenance and tolls and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, you need a good accountant, somebody who's really going to help you and help you understand the numbers. So I would get into that. Some of the downsides of being in a lease program, you're tied to that company, okay? As long as and if you leave before that truck is paid off, that is not your truck, okay? That equity goes back to them. Folks, we've seen a lot of people lose a lot of money doing this, so be very, very careful about how that works. If you quit, you lose your equity. You may never fully pay off that truck. Realize if you go into a truck with no money down and it's a $200,000 Peterbilt, don't think you're paying that off in 7 years just by running up and down the road. You better really do your homework on truck appreciation costs, all that kind of stuff. It may not be worth it for you to get into that deal. I'm not saying that yes or no. I'm just saying that might be the ugly of it. And of course, you need to have a business mindset. No matter which of these programs you get into, you need to be business minded. Go talk to other owner operators. Learn about business. It doesn't matter whether it's a truck, a restaurant, whatever. We all kind of operate the same. You need capital. You need team members. You need work ethic. You need to know who your customers are. You need to know how you're going to make the money, how you're going to pay for maintenance. And then probably another thing is to make sure that you've got you're really checking your statements and understand. I don't know how many owner-operators are up and down the road and don't even, usually statements on from a company are usually a month behind when you actually done the work. So don't just take their pay and go, oh, how come it's only this today? Make sure you're checking. You should be checking that line by line, making sure you're getting paid for everything. Know what they're taking off your statement. Know what's coming off every month. Budget that way, and make sure you have a handle on your business. Because if you don't, my friends, I'm going to tell you, you're going to be like a lot of these horror stories we hear where people don't get in it. So are these programs good? They're good, the bad, and the ugly. They're good if you know what you're getting into and you understand how they are. They're bad if you don't understand what they're doing and you just kind of go in and you get taken. If you're in a good company, you'll probably have a good experience. If you're a bad company, you have a bad experience. Whichever experience you have, remember you are tied to that company with a lease program, so you want to make sure that you get you get some expertise in this, and you make sure that people that you understand exactly what you're getting to. I would hire a lawyer, I'd hire an accountant, and make sure you know what's going on. The other thing I want to just tell you is that this is I'm just giving you this general in nature, okay? Make sure you talk to a professional before you get into any of this kind of stuff, because they all are very different. Everything looks good on a website, so don't just go by their website. You need to see the contract, you need to see the details, talk to drivers at their company, talk to people who have had that experience. Be very careful what you listen to, because everybody's going to have, I was told not to get into trucking, over 40 years ago, and I've been in it 40 years. So don't listen to everybody, but make sure you're listening to people who are trusted, and take that contract, get it looked over by a lawyer to make sure you understand exactly what's coming on, what you owe, what you pay, and realize that in trucking things change. That company might be doing well now. We know companies that do well now, and then 10 years later they're out of business. So be very careful with that. Hey, thanks everybody for listening. Hey, whatever you're listening to this on, would you please subscribe to your channel, your platform, because we love to, lots of stuff coming out for you. Thanks for listening to Lead Pedal Podcast. We really appreciate it, and we will talk to you later, my friends. Bye for now.
This has been another episode of the Lead Pedal Podcast. For more information or to subscribe to the podcast, visit theleadpedalpodcast.com, and be sure to follow the podcast on Facebook and Twitter.